Hi guys, we're some Aqua Smith, and in this video I'll show you guys how to take your bulk rubbers or unmade bands and turn it into pre-made bands, like this band right here that's ready to use. So the tools you'll be needing, you can see them here. This is the T-tool or insertion tool. We have a long nose pliers, and also we have a screwdriver. We got your scissors and a lighter. Now for the lines, you can see this is a 1,000 pound wishbone. This is by Rive, and this is the tying line I'm going to be using. So for each side of the band I only need about 1 feet, so I have it pre-cut and ready to tie. It can just be about 200 pounds of tying line for the strength for your tying line. And next I have the loops. Now this is gonna go onto the band itself, you can see here. And then also we have our beads. Now this will go into the band, also into the loops. And we also have this here in our shop if you guys are interested in getting these beads. And of course we have our, this is just dishwashing soap, or you could use hand soap to lubricate your loops when you come to insert it into the band. Alright, so let's get started. Now I'm going to start off with the loops. You can go ahead and get your dishwashing soap and have it lubricated. And then for this step I'll be using the long nose pliers, and you could grab just above the knot on the loop, and then it should look like this. Now you want to get your bands, and then when you come to insert it, you want to grip your band firmly, just like this. Go ahead and insert the knot into the band, and then it should look like that. Now you can repeat the same process on the other side. So I'm gonna get my loops, have it lubricated with dishwashing soap. Same thing, get your long nose pliers and just grip right above the knot of the loop. Once again, it should look like that. And then you can get your bands, grip it firmly, and insert your knot loop into the band, just like that. Alright, so now you have it, both of the loops are in. It should look like this. Next we're going to be inserting the beads. This will go into the loops and into the band. So let's start off with one side. Again, gripping your band firmly. You can go ahead, insert your beads, just like that. Grip your band firmly, and then this is where the T-tool or insertion tool comes in. You can go ahead, insert your loops onto the bead itself. You see that? Now grip your band firmly and insert it in. Now once it's in, you want to grip the edge of the band so that the beads stay behind, but sometimes it doesn't stay behind and it comes back out. Don't worry, you can repeat the process. In this case it stayed in, so you can get your screwdriver and then just pull on your loop first. Get your screwdriver and make sure that the bead is in properly, and it should look like that. Now it might be hard to see, but there's a bulge in the rubber, or it looks kind of swollen. That's where the bead is in. So when you come to tie your constrictor knot, the bead is making sure that the loops does not come out. Now you can repeat the same process. Get your beads, insert it into your loop, just like that. Should look like that. And then you can get your insertion tool and repeat the same process. Grip your bands firmly and insert your bead. Now you want to pinch the edge of the band, slowly removing the insertion tool And there you have it. Now you can, while pinching on the edge of the band, you could get your loop and then just pull it out a little bit. Now get your screwdriver and make sure that the beads are in properly, just like that. And there you have it. You got your loops and your beads into your band. Now for the next step, we can tie the constrictor knot on the bands. So you can go ahead. I have my tying line. This is 200 pounds. I have it pre-cut and ready to go. So for the constrictor knot, you can just hold the line like this, and then make your first loop, just like that. Pull on it so it gets smaller. Make your second loop, just like that, and then pull on it so it's evenly the same size. Now this is the important part. I like to separate the two loops just like this, and then get one end of the line, insert it through this side of the loop itself, and then it goes out in the same way. Now same goes with this end, and you always want to start on the outside. Do not go from the inside. So from the outside goes into the other loop and out the other side, just like that. And then you have your constrictor knot. You can adjust the size of the loops, make it bigger. Get your band, insert your band onto the constrictor knot, and then you can pull on it, make it sit firmly, and then you can adjust your constrictor knot. So this is a little bit too much further back, so we're just gonna adjust it a little bit, just like that. Now this is fine, so you want to make sure it sits firmly. You can pull on it. Now for the next step, when you're doing this alone, so here in our shop we have on our workbench, this is just a screwed onto the 2x4. You can do this when you're making your bands alone. You can just have the same setup. You could either use a nail. So yeah, get one side of your line, tie it onto the screw or nail, just like that. And then I like to use the screwdriver. You could use the pliers, but I'm going to use the screwdriver. And then you can make a knot, just a simple knot. Now when you come to pull on the screw, when you're using a screwdriver, when you come to pull on it, I usually keep my pointer finger on the back side and my thumb on the front, so that if the line does snap, I do not hurt myself. So yeah, now you can go ahead and give it some tension and move the bands to the left and to the right. So give it some tension, move it to the left. You can see the constrictor knot getting tight. Move it to the right, just like that. Now you might wonder, how do we know if the constrictor knot is fully settled in? It's actually when you're unable to twist it to the left or the right anymore. You can see here, it's not moving to the left or the right. So that's when you know your constrictor knot is fully set in properly. You can get your scissors. And then when you come to cut your line, you want to give it just a little bit excess line so that you can burn it with your lighter after. Just like that. Same goes for the other end. And then it should look like this. And then you can fluff up the excess line so that when you come to burn it, it burns evenly. Just like that. And then you can get your lighter. Now for this part, when you burn your excess line, you don't want to keep the flame on the band too long, because you might actually burn the band. So just burn it until it melts, keep it away. Burn it until it melts, keep it away. Now you could just tap on the burnt excess line and you could see it is secured. Same on this side. Burn until it melts, move it away. You don't want to keep the flame too long on the band. And if you don't want to use your finger, you could use the lighter. Just like that. And there you have it. Now we can test our constrictor nut. So how I test it is I get my screwdriver, insert it through one of the loop, and then pull on the band itself. So this is how I know that my constrictor nut and my bead is properly in, and when I use it on my gun it won't snap. So pull on it, you can see that the band is actually really stretched. Let me see if you guys could see this. Yeah, there you go. Or you could just, yeah, now you can repeat the same process onto the other side. Alright, so let's get our tying line. Once again, this is just a 200-pound nylon line, or you could use your Dyneema line. You want to make your constrictor knot, make the first loop and then the second loop, just like that. So you have two loops. So you have two loops and two ends. Now insert it through the outside of the loop, going in, and bring it out the same way. Same goes for the other side. From the outside of the loop, going in, out the same way. And there you have it. You could adjust your constrictor knot, make it a little bit bigger. Get your bands. Put your bands through the constrictor knot, and then pull on it so that it gets tight. And then again, you can adjust the size. So this is too much further back, so I'm just gonna adjust it a little bit, just like that. And then when it comes out, just put it back in, pull on both sides so that it gets tight, then adjust, just like that, and it's ready to be tied. So repeating the same process. This is again just a screw onto a 2x4. You can do this when you're working on your bands alone. So again, one side of the tying line, just tie a simple knot around the screw, just like that, and pull on it, make sure it's nice. Same again, simple knot around the screwdriver, and there we go. So let's repeat the same process. Give it some tension and move the bands to the left and to the right, so you could see the constrictor knot settling in, just like that. And then to know that if your constrictor knot is fully tight is when you're unable to twist the bands to the left or right. You could see here, I'm unable to twist it, so just make sure it's secure. Get your scissors. When you come to cut your line, give it a little bit excess line so that you have enough material to burn on. There you go. Once again, you want to fluff up your excess line. When you burn it, you want to keep, you don't want to keep it too long onto the band, because it might burn the band. Just burn it. Once it melts, move it away, and then secure it with the lighter. Same process. Burn it until it melts, move it away, or you could use your finger, just like that. Now let's test if this knot is fully secured in. I'll just get my screwdriver, pull it in like so, and then I think you guys could see this better. See that? Yeah. Alright. So that's how you find out if your loops are tied properly and secured. Next, you can get your wishbone. This is a Rife 1,000-pound wishbone. Now to put it onto your bands. So I like to go from the back side of the loop, go around and go under, You can see that. Go under and then into the loop itself, just like that. And then you could pinch on it, give it some tension, and then adjust. If the excess is too long, you could adjust. Pull on the line, and then there you go. You can repeat the same on the other side. So on the back side of the loop, you want to go to the front and then under and then back in the loop. There you go. It should look like that. And then you can burn the excess line. Just like that. And if the excess is too long, you can adjust. Make it shorter. And then burn on it. There you go. So there you have it. We have pre-made bands ready to go and ready to use. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching.